Hello and good afternoon. This is Rafael Goodell, City of McAllen Wellness Coach, coming to you from City Hall to do a few minutes of a talk about weight loss. And I really should have put the question weight loss with a question mark at the end of it, because what I really want to have a discussion with you about today is whether or not weight loss is actually for you. Is that something that you should be setting as a goal for yourself? Is that something that you should be thinking about as a set point for somewhere in the future? So when you're thinking about weight loss, first we want to decide, what does weight loss actually mean? And weight loss for most people think, oh, hello Jeanette, thanks for joining. What weight loss actually means for some people is just the total numbers that they see on the scale when they have a number in front of them. For example, somebody starts off at, or they feel as though they started off at like 230 pounds, and now they're going to go set a goal as far as losing 10 pounds to get themselves to 220. Well, what is the significance of the number 220 compared to 230? For too many people, they only have one device for measuring their weight loss, and that would be a weight scale that they could find in a kitchen or in their bathroom. And if that's the only number you're going to base your achievements on, then you might actually be doing things that are detrimental to long-term health, and long-term weight loss or fat loss is really the ultimate goal. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what we mean by weight loss or weight gain. So when you hear about it from City of McAllen Wellness Program, if you were to come to us and say, my goal is to lose 10 pounds, and then my question to you would be, what do you think you would look like or feel like, or how much more energy do you think you would have at the end of that goal when you finally reach it? So hopefully everything that you choose as far as how you're going to look, how you're going to feel, how much more energy you're going to have, all those would be positive. For the majority of people, and so I'm talking to the people who get a chance to watch this video again sometime around March or late February, they might come to find that those three things that I mentioned, looking better, feeling better, having more energy, might actually be further away from them than when they started. Those could be the results of losing muscle quality and losing muscle mass, in addition to losing water weight, and also losing some fat weight, or either visceral fat or subcutaneous fat loss. That is a condition that we want to avoid, because to come to a place where at the end of losing 10 pounds, you don't feel as good as before when you were your original weight, that is a psychological sabotage, where you could end up having a negative connotation to the feeling of losing weight, and a negative feeling about working on weight loss in general. And there are psychological names for that. They call those aversions. So if you have, like, let's say a food aversion, let's say for example, if you were to really enjoy spaghetti, but then you go to a restaurant and there was some food poisoning involved, or they didn't prepare it right, or you got sick. Oh, give me just 1 minute. Be right back. Sorry, I have to watch the door. If you were to get sick from eating at that restaurant, you might not just end up with a food aversion from eating at that restaurant. You may end up with a food aversion to spaghetti altogether. And the reason I say that is you may also, hello Esther, how you doing? You may also end up with an aversion to dieting. So when somebody says the word dieting to you, or weight loss to you, you might have an immediate visceral reaction to it where you don't like it, and you assume that weight loss means hard sacrifice, that at the end you know you're not going to feel good, and that you might actually end up continuously sabotaging your goal by not really taking yourself too seriously, because you know that the time you did take yourself seriously, that at the end you ended up feeling like you had less energy, like you didn't feel as good, and that you knew intrinsically on the inside that what you did to yourself was not the right thing to do. So the first decision to make is, what type of weight do I plan on losing? And we're going to try to keep the muscle mass, and we're going to try to lose the body fat. So one way to increase muscle quality is to make sure you get involved in a resistance training. Hey, Peter. Hey, Gabby. How you doing? Is to increase resistance training, because that in turn sends a signal to your muscle fibers, to your all of the major movers, like you have chest and back and legs, and you want to make sure that you're telling those muscle fibers every day or at least twice a week that they should continue to function and grow and be used, and so they don't have a chance to atrophy. And atrophy means to waste away or to get smaller. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you're doing some type of resistance workout, and there's a lot of different types of resistance work out there. It's not just weights. Weights is by far, in my opinion, the safest way to increase. Okay, it is the safest way to increase strength and to prevent the atrophying of your muscles. But you also have swimming and dancing. Even running can be considered a resistance exercise because it's for your legs. A lot of times people want to take exercises and chop them up into either cardio or resistance, or and put them in these different categories. But let's not forget, anytime you're doing any type of exercise, you are in fact using your muscle fibers. So if you're punching and kicking a bag as doing some type of martial arts work, this is all a type of training that can help prevent your muscles from atrophying. So you want to do various types of exercises. So whatever you're good at. If it's swimming, you may want to take some time to do some bike riding or some running. If it's weightlifting, you may also want to incorporate some dance or some aerobics or some Zumba. Anything that gets a lot of different fibers working all within the same week, so that you can constantly be surprising those fibers with new and innovative ways of moving and feeling. So number one, resistance workout, some type of resistance for all your muscle fibers. And then the second thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find out exactly how many calories do you need in a week. Everybody has a disposition to want to eat the amount of food that makes them feel comfortable, allows them to think clearly, and that is actually the main shutdown switch that will really just take your whatever it is that you're trying to do as far as diet, and will just shut the whole thing down. Is if your amygdala feels as though that's part of your brain, like real deep on the inside there, it goes to your core. If it's telling you that something's going wrong with your system, that you don't have enough food, that you are not able to maintain or to function properly, it will shut down your entire diet. It won't let you continue to starve yourself. Now, there are some people who, through sheer force of will, can force themselves to not eat. Now, that is going to lead to anorexia, right, or a bulimic state. And so even if you are successful at tricking your amygdala or forcing your amygdala to do what it is that you want it to do, the end result of that is not going to be anything positive. So you need to make sure that you're getting the right amount of calories, and then find out where those calories need to come from to fit your genetic profile. So some of us need a profile where we have more fats than carbs or protein, and you could take all of those and switch them all around in many different combinations. And I can stand here today and give you 20 different books. One that says, okay, more carbs. This one says less carbs. This one says no fats at all. And if you go and you compare all the books at a bookstore on diet, you'll see that there is a mix of all the different types of macronutrients possible. So the only way you could really find out whether or not one specific diet is gonna work for you, as far as weight loss goes, is to keep a food log or a journal, not just of what you think you should be doing, but of what you're actually doing. And be honest with yourself for a good 2 weeks. Just write down what it is that you're taking for the 2 weeks, and then if you can have it. Oh, hey Luis, how you doing? Hey Anthony, thank you. Oh, will do Anthony. Thank you very much. That you're going to maintain a log that's going to allow you to know exactly what you're eating. That way, when you do talk to your personal trainer, or if you bring it into our office here, that we are going to be able to say, okay, this is what you're eating, and this is what you should be eating. So this is what we'll be able to give you, what's called a meal plan. And what we're finding out is most of our meal plans, we like to keep it simple for the first couple of weeks, to use whole foods that are easy to come by, that are easy to prepare, so that you'll be able to stay on a diet. And we use the word diet as a way to just express the way that you eat. So one concept that's kind of out there is people get on a diet, but really you're on a diet your entire life. If you were to become some type of zookeeper or somebody who takes care of animals, and they were to give you a panda bear, and you say, okay, well, what does this panda bear eat? They would say, well, he's on a diet, this type of diet. This is what he eats. Breakfast, lunch, dinner throughout the day. Or any other type of animal is on a specific set of foods that if you give them a food that's way too different from what they're used to eating, could get sick. So likewise for you, when you're thinking about what to eat for your weight loss plan, many of the foods that you choose should come from what you're already used to. As you incorporate new foods, for example, if you are not used to eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, so we do hear from people say, well, I want to make sure that I drop out a lot of the fruits and a lot of things that are high in sugar. Well, wait a minute. If you're not used to eating fruit, but you're used to eating a lot of processed sugars, when you drop those processed sugars from your diet, you're going to find out that you're going to have a real strong craving for sweet things. One of the ways to satisfy those cravings is through the natural fruits that you're supposed to be eating throughout the week. So let's not drop fruits, let's not drop vegetables through our diet. We do have to limit them, though, if we're looking for a specific amount of weight loss. So write down what it is that you're used to eating in a day. In many ways, the USDA and the RDA food pyramid is actually pretty accurate when it comes to telling us how much fruits and vegetables we need, right? So we're looking for the 4 to 6 servings of fruits and vegetables throughout the day. Now, I do kind of deviate when it comes to dairy and lactose and cheese products. I think it'd be a good idea to limit those as much as possible. If you're not used to eating them anyway, so just drop them. There are some talks about going gluten-free, and that's been a concept that's been becoming more popular. And yes, there are a lot of foods that cause inflammation. Many of those foods are associated with grains. So if you're not sure whether or not a gluten-free lifestyle is good for you, instead of going on a full-on detox where you're just going to drop all grains and then you're going to trigger that amygdala to make you feel as though something's wrong, why don't you scale it back a little bit at a time? Work with your nutritionist, or work with your personal trainer, or work with your food log to see, okay, where can I cut out, or where can I change some of the places where I don't necessarily need as much bread, pasta, or grains in the day. So what works for me personally is I start every day with a bowl of steel-cut oats, because it takes the place of, oh, hey Carlos, how you doing? Thanks for joining. It takes the place of a lot of bread products throughout the day. I don't have to feel as though that I'm denying myself bread products, because the oatmeal, here's the thing about what you eat for weight loss. whatever you eat early in the day is going to stay with you all day long. So steel cut oats are an example of something that's going to help to regulate your water balance, and is also going to help you to not necessarily feel as though you're missing out on pasta and bread because it's really high in carbohydrates, but mostly it doesn't have gluten, especially when you go with some of the more organic varieties and the way they process it. They'll put it on the label as far as whether or not it's been exposed to other machines or other processes that involve gluten, possibly getting into that product. All right, so we talked about making sure that whatever diet you choose to get on, if you decide that weight loss is something that is a goal for you, that we keep the muscle and use all of it, that we lose body fat by burning it every day in a system that where we have exercise and where we have good hydration. And then probably the most important thing of what I've noticed from my time here is you really need a lot of sleep. So your sleep is going to help you to check out mentally, so that when your brain's at rest, that's where it's going to spend the most time going through your system and figuring out how to use food properly of what you ate. It's going to figure out what muscles need to be repaired. It's going to help you to reset so that the next time you use your muscle fibers, everything is ready to go and prepared for you. If you cut out your sleep hoping to burn more calories in the day, or hoping to keep yourself awake and that's somehow going to help you to lose weight, the exact opposite does happen. You have a hormone called cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone. Now, a lot of us start to stress around the holidays because of family commitments and because of things that are going on around us. Trying to do our best to make people around us happy, and as well we should. The only issue with that is sometimes unrealistic expectations can cause our cortisol levels, that's our stress levels, to go up. Now, stress traditionally around this time is the reason why people would eat these high-fat foods, and they would store body fat. So instead of doing that, what we'll do is we'll try to figure out a way to calm ourselves down, maybe a couple of hours before we go to bed, and also that when we do sleep, that we get a full 7 to 8 hours, and you'll be surprised at how much easier it is to lose body fat, and that will ultimately bring the weight down, and then also to make sure that your joints and muscles are ready for the next workout session. So what we talked about today, just again, super really quick recap here. We talked about managing stress, getting your sleep, keeping track of what you're eating, and then making sure that you're using your muscles at least twice a week in some form of resistance workout, and that you know how many calories it takes in a week in order for you to function, and even how many calories it takes in a day. So for more on these types of topics, you can drop by the office here at Employee Benefits if you're a City of McAllen employee, or if you're just somebody that is interested, and you can also email me or text me to my phone number if you got it, or my Facebook page. So we try to make time for everybody in the community to get in shape, be healthy, and we'll see you next Friday with another topic, and we hope you guys can join us again then. Thank you for joining. See ya.